this episode of Off The Script Extra. The video everybody's wanted me to talk about. My opinion of Wrestle Kingdom 11 and the main event everybody's talking about. Omega versus Okada. Let's talk about it.
Fill your glasses up and put your headphones in, because it's time for Off The Script. And all you fucking goons and assholes, get in line and hit subscribe, because it's time for Off The Script. Hit the like button and share it around. You can even pull your fucking pants down, because it's time for Off The Script with JD from New York 206, because it's time for Off The Script, because it's time for Off The Script.
You know, it's videos like these, man, that really push me to my limit. It's easy. It's easy to come on here and talk about how shitty Monday Night Raw has been. It's easy to come on here and make fun of a Roman Reigns for his fucked up promo ability. It's easy to come on here and talk about SmackDown. It's not easy to come on here and talk about when something is so good and monumental with barely any flaws in it. What am I supposed to talk? It's easier to pick apart something and find the bad in something than to find the good in something. This is why I always have a difficult time, and I always repeat myself, and I feel like a fucking asshole after the end of the review. When you watch a takeover, there was never a bad takeover from NXT. Like, what am I supposed to say? All I have to say is come on here, watch it, go watch it yourself. Come on here and go watch it yourself. What am I supposed to say if there's barely anything of a negative vibe to it? It's impossible. I've been doing Off The Script for 151 episodes now. This coming Friday will mark 152 episodes on YouTube. Never missed 1 week. It's easy to talk about the shortcomings of WWE, and mainly I am a WWE channel. I cover everything WWE news. I cover Raw, SmackDown, NXT, TakeOver, their fucking 2 pay-per-views per month. You name it, I cover it. Takes a lot out of me, man. Whether you want to believe it or not, maintaining this channel and being consistent and daily and weekly takes a lot out of me, man. There's things that I would like to do that I cannot. I am handcuffed. And watching other wrestling besides what I'm doing right now is too much for me. I can't watch a Ring of Honor. Not because I don't want to, but because right now, with the amount of work I am under, and the amount of pressure I am under to maintain this channel, and what you guys want to see, I can't watch Ring of Honor. I added Lucha Underground in there, and not many of you on my channel watch Lucha Underground. You barely get the fucking station that it airs on. So I'm doing it because I decided to pick it up this year, and I've enjoyed the product. I think it's great. It might not be better than what we've seen in Season 1 and Season 2, but I'm enjoying what they're presenting. I'd like to watch some Evolve. I'd like to watch these other promotions that are doing so great, I don't watch TNA because I'm not a fan of TNA. I've never been a fan of TNA, so they're really not on my radar. But everybody for years has been telling me, JD, you got to get on New Japan Pro Wrestling. I can't remember, in all the years that I've been doing this and all the episodes that I put out for this podcast, I cannot remember something that has been so highly requested, like something we're going to talk about today. And what do I say about it that hasn't been said? I don't know. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to... I watched Brian Zane. I think the last review I watched was from Brian Zane. Now, he didn't even go over the entire fucking event. It was a 5-hour fucking show. He's not really too familiar with New Japan. He knows his minor details. But when he got to the match everybody's seemingly talking about, what is he supposed to say? We as content creators, podcasters, analysts, what are we supposed to say about something like that? He said exactly what I say every single takeover event. What am I supposed to say? Go out and watch it. There's nothing that I am going to tell you that is going to do it any justice whatsoever. That's exactly what he said. That's all he said. Go out and watch it. It was amazing. Go out and watch it. That's it. I've never watched anything from New Japan. I think the only thing I've ever watched from New Japan was Wrestle Kingdom 10, I believe. That was last year's event. Right? 10, 11. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That's the only thing I watched. And I watched that because a lot of you, just like this year, JD, go out and watch it. Go out and watch it. Dedicate a half an hour. Please watch it. Lo and behold, they're both in the WWE. They're both coming to the WWE. I knew of AJ Styles. I knew how he worked. I knew what his moveset was. Nakamura was a different story. I didn't know anything about Nakamura. Now I do. Being that he's under a brighter light, he is in North America, and people see how talented of a superstar that he is. It's been more so this year. I've never had this many people come to me repeatedly, and, they would get blue in the face. Every fucking episode, every comment section, every tweet, every day, up until the fucking thing was over, and then when it was over, people would say, did you watch it? Did you watch it? What'd you think? Did you watch it? Everybody asking me to go watch this match. Literally everybody. Everybody. What did you think? When are you going to watch it? I woke up on January 4th, getting ready to go to work, and before I hop in the shower, I procrastinate. I feed the cats, I clean up a little bit, and, do whatever I gotta do. I procrastinate because I don't want to go to work before I get in the shower. So I sat on Twitter, and I looked at all the tweets coming my way. I looked at everything coming my way, and everybody was saying how great this was, how amazing this match was, how amazing this event was. Meltzer was giving it 6 stars. I gotta go out and watch it. JD, did you watch it? This and that. I felt embarrassed because I didn't know how to answer any of you guys. Gonna be perfectly honest with you, I never seen or watched one Kenny Omega wrestling match. Have not. Haven't watched one New Japan Pro Wrestling event in full. I don't find myself doing that anywhere in the near future. But if they expand globally and they do come to the United States, yes, I will definitely get into what they are presenting because it is exactly what I want out of a promotion. Wrestling. Not some fucking cheesy, campy comedy. Not fucking 2-minute matches with some of the greatest fucking talent on this planet. I want wrestling. I want a showcase of talent. I never seen one Kenny Omega match. Heard of Okada. I've heard of Kenny Omega. I haven't gone out of my way to go watch him. Heard of Okada. Didn't know how great he was. Didn't know any of his backstory. I didn't know any of Omega's backstory. Obviously, I got my notes here because I watched this fucking match twice. I watched it twice. 1, because it was good. 2, I wanted to make sure I got things to talk about in this video because there's really nothing for me to talk about in concerns to this match because it was fucking awesome. And when things are awesome, there's really not much I can say. You've seen it already. It's easier for me to cut something down if it was bad. That's why Monday Night Raw and my reviews are so fucking great. Cut down shit left and right. A lot of shit to talk about. A lot of shit to go over. A lot of shit to fix. It's not much I can fix here. Not much I can fix at all. So I watched this match twice. I was very, very impressed by everything that I seen. A lot of people are telling me this is the greatest match that they've ever seen. JD, this is the greatest match I've ever seen. This is the greatest professional wrestling match of all time. Stop. Stop. Not taking away anything. This has absolutely nothing to do with Kenny Omega. It has absolutely nothing to do with Okada. It's not the greatest wrestling match of all time. Stop. That is such a highly debatable fucking statement. You can't say that. Now, in my honest, this is me. This is me coming from JD. The greatest match that I've ever seen, and I'm 34 years old. The greatest match that I've ever seen, I've been a fan of WWE for 30 years, is The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. That's my greatest match of all time. Why? Just look at the build leading up to that match, and then the build leading up to WrestleMania 26. It was so simple, yet perfect. Everything that match did on that night, with the crowd and Jim Ross's voice, everything was just so fucking perfect. Everything. Was Shawn Michaels gonna do it? Was The Undertaker healthy enough to withstand Shawn Michaels' attack? You know? Super kicks, tombstones, last rides, fucking Hell's Gate. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And the reason why that match was so great was because, to me, and to a lot of people, was because I seen it live. We seen it live. And WWE and Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker did such a phenomenal fucking job at making you believe, at least for a fucking split second, that the greatest fucking streak in wrestling was about to fucking come to an end on that night. And The Undertaker's streak on that night, in that moment, for that event, it was bigger than any world championship at the time. I don't give a shit when anybody says The Undertaker's streak being defended at WrestleMania against the likes of a Shawn Michaels made it bigger than the world championship. And I'm not afraid to admit that. And most people will agree with me on that. That's the reason why I felt like that match was the greatest professional wrestling match I've ever seen. It's certainly the best WWE match of all time. Some might argue that even still, but again, it's a highly debatable subject. Now, for you guys who watch New Japan on the regular, Omega vs. Okada may very well be the greatest match that you've ever seen, for the same exact reasons that I think The Undertaker vs. Shawn Michaels is the greatest match of all time. I might be in the same boat that you guys are, but I don't have the same, knowledge that you guys do. I didn't watch it live, so I knew who won the match before I even sat down to watch it myself. I didn't know the storyline going into this. I didn't know the build-up going into this. And leading up to this match, all I heard was how great it was. And Meltzer giving it 6 stars. So before I even got into this match, I had people proclaiming it was the greatest match of all time. I had Meltzer giving it 6 stars. I had people already spoiling it on Twitter. I wasn't going to stay off Twitter for fucking 2 days for a Kenny Omega Okada match. Something that I'm really not that invested in. I didn't know anything going into it. I didn't know the performers. I didn't know the storyline. I didn't know the build. So right then and there, I have absolutely no say in if it was the greatest match of all time. You do. You might have been through this entire thing leading up to this match in the final 3 count. I haven't. So, right then and there, our opinions are going to differ. And those are very, very valid reasons. So, I wanted to let that be known right now. Was it the greatest match to me? No. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, was that the greatest match to me? Yes. And that was the greatest match to me for the reasons that you're coming at me with. I knew nothing going into this Omega Okada match. So, this is what makes wrestling so great. It's such a debatable topic. And when it's debatable, you see the passion from people. That's why I love it. That's why I love it. Now, watching this match, obviously, I watched it twice. I knew going into this thing that I was going to experience two great performers. I was going to experience a great wrestling match. And that's exactly what it was, man. The body of work that this match was a 5-star match. What these guys did was a 5-star match. Never seen Kenny Omega wrestle before. I knew of his accomplishments. I knew everything he did leading up to this. I did some research. You know, he is a IWGP Intercontinental Champion. He won the G1 Climax Tournament. He got to this point. He was a Junior Heavyweight Champion as well here, as I see in my notes. Worked his way up to Wrestle Kingdom 11. The new leader of the Bullet Club after AJ Styles left. Kenny Omega is AJ Styles. Kenny Omega is AJ Styles right down to the very last fucking letter. 4 years younger. That's it. I love that. The man is absolutely fucking flawless. Flawless. Never seen him wrestle before, ever, before this match. All I needed to see was... I didn't even need to see this match in full. Half an hour of this match. Probably even less than that. This guy's amazing. This guy is amazing. What is he, 6 foot, 6'1"? 205 pounds? Guy's fucking unbelievable. Okada, 4-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion, I believe is what they said. I mean, the guy is absolutely phenomenal as well. Not taking anything away from him. I prefer Kenny Omega's style, and I prefer Kenny Omega's look a little bit more. Okada looks like something out of Kingdom Hearts. The facial expressions that he was making, the fucking look. He's the quintessential poster boy for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's a pretty boy. He's what Roman Reigns is to the WWE. He's a pretty face who can actually fucking wrestle. Roman. That's why he is the man. That's why he won. Kenny Omega, everything the man did was fucking flawless. There was parts of this match, I got in my notes here. There was one part of the match where Okada had Omega in a reverse chin lock, and he had his knee digging into his back. I'm watching this, and I'm looking, and I'm glad I watched it back a second time because I did not notice this the first time. I'm looking at Kenny Omega. He's close to the rope, and you see him pretty much faint. He's like losing consciousness. Then all of a sudden he just fucking maniacally, animalistically pops back up and reaches for the rope. Now, if you're looking at that, you might not notice anything. You might not be all that of an important note here. But what I seen, and from the years of watching wrestling, and the wrestling knowledge and psychology that I've developed over the years, you look at Omega doing that, and it's kind of a psych out. It's like almost him playing possum. He was fading away and going limp in hopes that Okada would at least just momentarily, for a split second, loosen the hold so that he could get to the rope. That's what I seen when I seen that. And to me, that was one of the most brilliant parts, psychologically, storyline-wise, of this match. There was another thing here where, obviously you had your fucking spots in this match. The guardrail DDT was fucking brutal. Kenny Omega, again, like I said, this guy is AJ Styles 4 or 5 years younger. The guy is absolutely fucking flawless at what he does. Springboard reverse moonsault off the fucking top rope over the fucking guardrail on the outside. Really? All in one motion. He didn't miss one fucking beat at all. Beautiful. What else do we got here? Omega. You seen the story that was being told here on Omega's part. he had one thing on his mind the entire match. I need to hit the one-winged angel, which is fucking awesome, by the way, because I have a fucking huge flag, a huge banner of Sephiroth hanging in my bedroom. Final Fantasy VII is my favorite video game ever, and nothing's even come close to it. The final boss in Final Fantasy VII is the greatest moment in my video game life. So to hear that Kenny Omega's finishing move is called the One-Winged Angel, I actually got a minor hard-on with that one. It's fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. He tried to go for the One-Winged Angel. I don't know how many times. I lost count. But leading up to that, at every moment that he had Okada weakened, he tried to hit the One-Winged Angel. And he was working from the lower back to the rib cage to the kidneys, working his way up to the neck. There was a fucking, I don't know if it was a dragon suplex or a full Nelson suplex off the top rope. Okada landed on his fucking neck. I sat there with my eyes raised. I'm like, is the guy alive? Came down on his neck. Brutal stuff. And then he followed it up, Omega did, with a reverse Rana that landed him on his neck again. On top of the fucking guillotine neck breakers and the fucking, it was just unbelievable. It was unbelievable. He continued to work his body parts, tried to attempt the One-Winged Angel at every opportunity he had, because the announcer was saying he feels like he only has one shot at this. So he was working his way on Okada up his body from the lower back to the neck to try and hit the One-Winged Angel, and you've seen that progress through the match, how desperate Omega was trying to get to hit the One-Winged Angel. Great fucking shit right there. The psychology on Omega's part was fucking, again, flawless. There was a part here with some tables. There was one part where Okada was laid out on a table, or laid out on the floor on the outside underneath a table, and Omega ran from the apron onto Okada with a double foot stomp. That again played part into the match and the whole story from Omega's part to try and weaken his kidney area and his lower back area up to his neck area. There was a part where Omega tried to put Okada through the table on the outside that was set up, propped up with a One-Winged Angel, and everybody was going fucking crazy. This led both men back into the ring with some knife-edge chops, which I'll talk about in a second. And then all of a sudden you see Omega go flying over the fucking top rope. He hit hard way to the point where I thought he fucking busted his neck. The way he landed through those tables, and then they're not these WWE fucking prop plastic tables, I'll tell you that. Fucking table exploded. The back of Omega's neck hit the fucking outer portion of the metal beam on the table. Absolutely fucking brutal. Another thing on Omega's part, his facial reactions are fucking great. The shots that they got there at Wrestle Kingdom during the main event, close up of Omega's face, him just looking absolutely out of it, eyes glazed over, looking like he's on fucking Dream Street. Beautiful. Some facial expressions by Okada when he was trying to hit the Rainmaker. He did hit the Rainmaker. Omega kicked out of the Rainmaker the first time. The face on Okada was absolutely unbelievable. Reminded me of what Undertaker did when he fucking tombstoned Shawn Michaels for a second time and he kicked out. Jim Ross perfectly said, I could sit here behind this announce desk and call this match, but the facial expression that the Undertaker is making is all the story you need to see. That's it. The eyes of the Taker explain it to you better than I could ever. Same thing happened with Okada. After he hit that Rainmaker, people were going fucking crazy. Omega kicked out of it. Facial expressions are important in trying to tell the story. These guys did a brilliant fucking job. There was another thing about the One-Winged Angel here. I like that Omega did not hit the One-Winged Angel. He never hit the One-Winged Angel in this match. And, you know, if you're watching a WWE production in which AJ Styles coming into the WWE, you know, they didn't really allow him to use the Styles Clash often. You know, it was kind of shied away from. They weren't sure if they wanted him to go and use it because it's a dangerous move. One fucking fuck up and you can cripple somebody. Just look at Yoshitatsu. I like that they did not have Omega hit the One-Winged Angel because it protects it. it protects it. You know? Okada, he's got the Rainmaker. Omega kicked out of a few Rainmakers. It's nothing but a fucking clothesline. You know? It's nothing but a fucking lariat. Okada's got the Tombstone, too. You know, it's a basic move. It's a basic move. Omega's finisher was never hit. And I'm glad that it was never hit, because if Okada kicked out of it after all that Omega did, it would be kind of silly. So they protected the one-winged angel, which was great. And what else do I got here? I want to look through my notes here. There was a part in the match, too, here, where I believe there was a collar and elbow tie-up on the ropes, and Okada kind of pushed away from Omega a little bit. He was going to slap him, and Okada was like, you know, as a sign of respect. He didn't slap Omega in the face. Literally 5 minutes later, there was a situation, I don't remember what it was, but Omega spit in the face of Okada. So Okada showed Omega some respect by not slapping him across the face when he had a wide open shot at him. Omega, at the first opportunity he had to at least portray some sportsmanlike conduct, he spits in the face of Okada, and then, like a fucking dastardly prick, runs away on the outside and lays back. Letting that anger in Okada build up. Okada goes on the outside and they chase each other on the outside. Great heel shit by Omega. Great heel shit. I went into this unbiased. Enjoyment comes from the investment in the build and the wrestlers involved. I loved the match. I know for a fact if I was a regular viewer for New Japan Pro Wrestling, I would have enjoyed this match even more. Obviously, the reason why I explained like I enjoyed The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels is because the investment was there in the characters. I've been a lifelong fan of The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. I know their body of work. I know their history. I know what they've been through. The streak and Shawn Michaels leading up to this and his career, Undertaker, their back catalog dating back to the fucking greatest ending to any professional wrestling match I've ever seen at the 1997 SummerSlam when Shawn Michaels spit in the face of Bret Hart, which... Oh, no, Bret Hart spit in the face of Shawn Michaels. I'm sorry. How I can fuck that up. It's my favorite ending. Bret Hart spit in the face of Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels went to attack Bret with a steel chair, hit The Undertaker instead. That's what led to this entire feud. So their back catalog is there, and it's epic, and I understood it. The investment was there. If I went into this like I went into Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, I would have enjoyed this so much more, and maybe I would have given it a 6-star rating like Meltzer. Maybe. Kevin Kelly and Steve Corino, they were very good. They were very knowledgeable. They gave you a lot of history. They really portrayed this match as being something important. They really went over the reason why these guys were here and how they got there. At some points, they were a little monotone, a little unexciting. You guys were mentioning that I should watch the Japanese announcers, but I really want to understand the American announcing, and especially with people that I don't know and a promotion that I don't know. I want to hear someone that speaks my own language. So that's why I went with Kelly and Corino. They were not very exciting, but they were very good when it really got to the point in the match where things really started to pick up. And the match started off with your, feeling each other out, and then, they shifted into another gear. We started seeing table shots and high-risk moves on the outside, and then all of a sudden, the blow-up in the ending with, rainmakers here and there, and Kenny Omega really showing you a sense of urgency by trying to hit the one-winged angel, and every chance Okada got to be put in that move, he finds some way to get out of it, and he hit the Rainmaker. Omega kicks out, Tombstone. Omega kicks out, jumping Tombstone. Omega kicks out. Finally, a fucking Rainmaker that leveled his head off into the fucking 6th row. Got him, 1, 2, 3. So, it was unbelievable. I hate roller coasters, but this is a roller coaster I would not mind being on, man. Great shit. Kelly and Corino were okay. I give them a 1 thumb up out of 2. Meltzer gave it 6 stars. He should not have said anything. I didn't want to hear how great this match was going into it and then watch it on the first time, and I really wasn't blown away like Meltzer was. So it kind of took it away from me for a little bit. He shouldn't have said anything at all. He could have said it was a fantastic match, and that was it. He's got to go out and give it a fucking 6-star rating. Now, I think the only other 6-star rating he gave, correct me if I'm wrong, was Steamboat and Savage. So I don't know why he would say something like that. You say something like that, it better live up to expectation for a 6-star. So, he kind of ruined it there for me a little bit. Die-hard New Japan fans loved it. Story and build. Casuals might not, feel the same way. They might have a different opinion. Exactly what I've been talking about with the Undertaker, Shawn Michaels references. Some of the excitement for me was missing because I knew the outcome going in. So that was part of it too. That's pretty much all I got here in my notes. I mean, listen. WWE's trying to outdo this. I doubt that they will. The only way that they will make WrestleMania 33's main event better than this is if AJ Styles is there, number one. If they actually sign Kenny Omega and put him in the main event with AJ Styles, that's probably the only way that's going to happen. WWE needs to let the handcuffs off. They need to give these guys free reign to do what they need to do. And WWE, I'm seeing, is worrying about what New Japan is doing. Worry about what you're doing. Worry about your event. WrestleMania 32 was one of the biggest atrocities of all time. And this is coming from a lifelong WWE fan. It was awful. It did not live up to its name at all. WWE needs to put on a great WrestleMania season with stories that are going to matter, with people that we want to see. Look at the reception that this got. From people within the WWE as well. Sasha Banks. Daniel Bryan tweeted out an amazing accomplishment to both men. People want to see professional wrestling. We don't want to see this bullshit that we see on Monday nights. If you put that match at WrestleMania, I don't think anybody's going to have a problem with that. We don't want to see the Reigns. We don't want to see the Triple H's. We don't want to see the Goldbergs. What we want to see is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and AJ Styles and a Sami. Guys like that. Nakamura. WWE, they're going in the right direction with these guys. But still, they're trying to produce them in a way that they think is right, but it's not. You gotta shed this entertainment bullshit. That's such a lame way, a lame cop-out. Entertainment. What is that? Still to this day, I don't even know what that means. Sports entertainment. So what we watched with Omega and Okada, that's not entertainment? That's entertainment to me. That's entertainment to everybody that watched that fucking match. We were entertained for 50 minutes. I don't know what type of entertainment WWE wants to get across to their viewer, but I think the entertainment that the majority of us want to see going forward is exactly what Omega and Okada showed us at Wrestle Kingdom 11. At this point, do I trust WWE to rival what they did at Wrestle Kingdom 11? No. Like I said, the only way that they can even come close, and no, Nakamura is not going to be in the main event because it's not logistically there. It doesn't make sense. Zayn, Owens, if they give them 40 minutes to go out there and fight for a title in the main event, if Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble, that's a possibility. Anything with AJ Styles, that's a possibility. Signing Kenny Omega from New Japan and putting him in the main event of WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. There you go. That's the only way. WWE wants to make New Japan jealous. They want to outdo New Japan. Well, you better fucking throw Kenny Omega all the money in the world because this guy made himself, even in a loss, the biggest wrestler in the fucking world. Absolutely. He made a fucking fan out of me in one match. And like I said, I didn't know anything about Kenny Omega going into this. So, my review of the match, it was fucking amazing. When I do my top 10 for 2017, it will be primarily WWE. But I can guarantee you this. By the end of the year, when we talk about match of the year, this will probably be the only honorary mention that's in my top 10. That's not WWE. Will it be number one? Right now, it's number one, because we just started 2017. We got to see what WWE does. They always have a gem or three throughout the year. But right now, Omega, Okada, absolutely fucking amazing. Kenny Omega's fucking phenomenal. I wish him nothing but the absolute best. He made a fan out of me in one showing, man. And that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted to take the people who didn't know anything about New Japan and make them fans. He certainly made a fan of me. Okada is no slouch either. Unbelievable. The rumor going around right now is that he's walking away from Japan. A lot of you guys are saying that it's nothing but a troll. That if you know Kenny Omega and his history of saying things, that he's probably just recharging his battery. He wants to win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. But from what I know, that's not really a championship that is thrown around like the Women's Championship of WWE. You know, when it's defended, it's important. You know, it's only done at its most important times of the year. So when Omega does win it, or if he wins it, I should say, is it going to happen before February? Because right now we don't know if he's signed or not. His contract's up in February. And John Cena tweeted out a picture of Kenny Omega on his Instagram. He did the same thing with AJ Styles last year, and you guys know how that went. AJ Styles showed up in the Royal Rumble. Will Kenny Omega show up in the Royal Rumble? Probably not. Not going to get my hopes up. Do I want to see Kenny Omega succeed on a grander scale? Do I want to see him and his brand and his talent showcased to a wider audience? Yes, I think he deserves it. After what I've seen, yes, he deserves it. They always come through the WWE door. Whenever they say, I don't want to step through the doors of WWE, bullshit. Everybody, no matter how good the company is, or how bad the company is, or what your perception of the company is, or what the fans' perception of the company is, stay in New Japan, Kenny. Everybody wants to walk through those doors. Nakamura did it. Styles did it. Owens did it. Zayn did it. You know, look at these guys. Not all of them are going to succeed, but they all want the fame, the fortune, the recognition, and the spotlight and the stage to show everybody who exactly to show everybody who exactly they are and what they are. So when Kenny Omega says, I don't want to be in the WWE, I call bullshit on that. He will eventually be, whether it's this year or 2 years from now. He will. And he's young. He's 33. He will. But that's my opinion on that. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I did a good job on this review. You know, I went 30 minutes with this fucking thing. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. And I will be back with more great news all week. Apparently, there's rumors going around that Brock Lesnar might be traded to SmackDown Live. Don't know how legit that is. And I'm also hearing rumors that WWE wants to cancel the feud between Seth Rollins and Triple H. That might have something to do with Wrestle Kingdom 11. They might actually go the more wrestling-orientated route. You know, Triple H and Seth Rollins isn't really jaw-dropping and exciting for WrestleMania. They might go with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. That might be one of the matches to try and steal some of New Japan's thunder. I don't know. So we'll talk about that. More shit coming this week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. And that's that. I'll see you guys soon. I'm JD. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys on Off The Script, Friday, episode 152. I'll talk to you later.